Ymir, wait. I know that I said I could do this, but I'm starting to have doubts. I mean, there's something that feels so wrong about this. I'm sorry, but I don't think I can go through with this. Please tell me I don't have to do this.
You want to live, don't you? You want to survive as what you are now? You want to survive as the creature you've become?
Yes. Yes, of course I do. I allowed you to do this to me because I wanted to live as this creature. I wanted to live by your side for eternity. Of course, I want to live, but...
But nothing. If you want to live, this is what you have to do, all right?
But why?
What the hell do you mean?
I was under the impression that you and I could feed from each other and we'd be fine. That's what you said, right? Since you're the one who did this to me, I can just feed from you forever and you can feed from me, right?
While that is true to some extent, you're still developing as a vampire.
What does that mean?
It means that you're still partially human. Your body still needs some of the nutrients that human food can provide. And, as you'll soon come to realize, your stomach isn't strong enough to tolerate it anymore.
Oh. And there's no other way?
Unfortunately not. If I was strong enough to tolerate human food, I'd eat all that I could. And I'd allow you to drink my blood, so that you could gain that nutrients. Regrettably, however, this is not the case. I can't tolerate human food the same way you can't, which means that the only way for you to gain that nutrients is by drinking human blood for a while.
I see. But couldn't we have made this a little easier?
What do you mean by that?
Well, couldn't we have at least asked someone before deciding to hunt them?
That would require us to reveal what we are. After all, how many people do you know who would willingly offer their blood to be drunk by a human?
I suppose I don't know anyone like that.
Exactly. Now, under the circumstances, especially given what Jaeger is, I suspect most people would be understanding. However, there is still some risk around that option, and I certainly am not taking that risk with you. Not with you. Certainly not with you. Do you understand? I am doing this because it's the only option. I know that you're going to hate me for this. I know you're going to be upset by this. But it is the only way for you to survive and be healthy. So if you want to live as long as you can in this state, you have to do what I say, all right?
All right. You have been like this for quite some time now. You know what's best for this situation. I trust you. I really do. I'm sorry. I'm really nervous. After all, I've never done something like this, as I'm sure you know. And, well, considering I have to take blood from someone I know, it's going to make it a lot more difficult. Especially since I'll have to see their face every day. And if they choose not to cover the mark, I'll have to be reminded of what I did every day that I see them.
Well, there is a bit of an upside to this. I took the liberty of finding someone I'm pretty sure you won't have an issue drawing blood from.
Really? Who'd you find?
Well, that's a bit of a difficult subject. See, sometimes drawing blood from a friend or a close companion is difficult. Sometimes that just makes it worse. However, as you know, I've been watching you for a while. Some would call it stalking you. I call it keeping you safe.
Right. I remember you told me that you watched everything I did, and you even listened in on some of my conversations to make sure I wasn't being used or taken advantage of.
Exactly. And the person that I've picked for you to feed from, they said that they would do absolutely anything to keep you alive. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. So, you think that making me feed from someone like that will help?
Well, it was a guess. After all, they said they'd do anything to keep you alive and well, didn't they?
Yes, that is what they said. And I can't pretend that I didn't notice their expression when they told me this. They were so nervous, so flustered. I know why they said that. And I'm guessing you do too, right?
Of course I do. I've been around people for a long time. Decades, in fact. Almost a century. I know how to read their emotions, read their tone of voice. They definitely like you, Historia. There's no denying that.
Yeah. That's sort of what I was afraid of.
Oh, come on. What issue do you have with this now?
Look, it's not exactly an issue with doing this. It's just a feeling. After all, you said you wanted to make sure I wasn't being used or taken advantage of. This feels like I'm abusing their kindness and their compassion and their generosity and their feelings for me. It feels like I'm using them. Like I'm taking advantage of them. And I just...
Just what? You don't have feelings for them, do you?
What? Why would you ever say something like that?
Historia, your heart may have stopped beating, but you're still blushing like a rose. Do you have feelings for them?
I suppose I do feel something for them. I could never lie to you, could I?
Absolutely not. Like I said, I know people's tells, and I've watched you for a long time. I know yours better than anyone else's. Come on. Just get it over with. Everything will be fine, I promise. You're not using them. You're not mistreating them. You're certainly not taking advantage of them. After all, they agreed to this. They said that they'd do whatever it took to keep you alive. They were willing to die for you during the expedition. Or have you forgotten?
No, I remember that. I suppose, compared to letting them die for me, this is better. This is more humane.
Exactly. And you don't even have to take that much blood from them. Just a little. I'll be by your side through it all. I'll tell you when to stop, okay?
All right. Could I ask you a favor?
Sure, what is it?
Well, do you think that you could bite them, though?
What?
I know it's a weird request, but I can't be the one to break their skin. It just... I don't know what it is. It just feels wrong.
Alright. I'll bite them. You feed from them, okay?
Alright. I can do that.
Alright, come on. We'll sneak in their room, and it'll be over before you know it.
Okay. I trust you. I really do. I hope you know that.
Of course I know that. I've known it for a long time. Now, watch what I do. You'll need to do this eventually. After all, you can't feed from me without biting me, and I really can't bite myself.
Right, of course. Okay, I'm watching. You're licking their skin?
Of course. How else am I supposed to keep them asleep while I do this?
So, that numbs everyone's skin? It isn't just certain people who need it?
Nope. And you better take notes. Seriously. I can tolerate a fair amount of pain, but I don't want to feel you biting into my neck, especially considering it'll probably take you a couple of tries to get it right.
Right. That seems so harsh. But they're still asleep. They really didn't feel that?
Nope. They didn't feel it at all. That's why we lick people's skin. It numbs it. They can't feel a single thing. Except maybe a little pressure, but they're fast asleep. What are they gonna feel, huh?
I suppose you're right. Wow. They're really bleeding a lot.
Exactly. So you'd better get to feeding, alright? Before they bleed out.
Right. Is it going to taste like metal, like it usually does?
No, it won't taste anything like that. Trust me. When you're a creature like what you are now, you develop a certain taste for blood. You enjoy its flavor. And it loses that metallic flavor. You begin to taste their emotions, their personality. Some blood is sweet, some is savory, some is disgustingly sour, some is bitter. This blood, it smells somewhat sweet. I think you'll enjoy it, but you won't know until you taste it.
Right. Oh my. Just looking at a little. It does taste really sweet. You were right.
I told you. Go on. Have some more. I'll tell you when you need to stop.
Right. Of course. Huh? Ymir? Why did you pull me away? Oh! You're awake. I suppose you'll be wanting an explanation then. Huh.